Thanks, Matt, and thank you, speakers. The sorts of things you've been speaking about tonight, we are loving working to apply in Mitcham to keep Mitcham cleaner and greener and cooler. Two big keys in doing that, trees and water. You might be familiar with Erbray wetland. We love our wetlands. We wish we could have more wetlands, but they're not the solution. You've heard it said earlier tonight that the trees in the streets need a drink. This is on a 20-second timer. I think I'm ahead of time. The problem here isn't that discharge. It's the fact that the trees in the streets aren't getting a drink. To get the cooling, to get the shade, we need the evapotranspiration, we need the soil moist. So we started looking at ways of stopping this runoff and putting it into the soil, and we didn't have to look too far. Back in 2003, our planning minister gave us some clues on how to build infiltration trenches for use on residential allotments. People were largely ignoring it. Great solutions there. So we started looking at building a soakage trench, and people occasionally expressed a little bit of negativity about building a large-scale soakage trench next to a road in a millennium drought when the soil's completely desiccated in reactive clay soils. But 11 years later, this verge here picks up about 100 kilolitres a year, and the infrastructure there that was new at the time hasn't got a hairline crack in it on reactive soil. And look at the shade density here compared with across the road. 100 kilolitres a year into a single verge. Amazing. The tree net inlets, there's a stand at in the foyer, a much smaller soakage device, not into a soakage trench, but into a leaky well. We've got hundreds of these around council. No issues, no problems, directly applying water into tree root zones, increasing growth rates, massive impact. In an average rainfall year, the amount of water that lands on Mitcham's footpaths is enough to fill Erbray wetland over 20 times. The benefit's huge. Think of the cooling of 20 Erbray wetlands. But this is the main reason we started looking at permeable paving in the first place. Hazardous, expensive, liabilities, pain, because roots track very shallow under sealed pavement surfaces where they access condensate when the pavement cools down in the evening. We've found that permeable paving on a standard gravel base is ventilated, dries out, roots grow deeper. We're going to save a lot of money not damaging paving. We're going to save a lot of pain, a lot of liability. The gravel actually works like a mulch. So we've started using permeable paving on roads. The average annual rainfall on Mitcham's roads would fill Erbray wetland 100 times. Can take truckloads, working beautifully, better for the trees, reducing runoff. Still hear a little bit of negativity about permeable paving. This intersection used to flood regularly. To upgrade the pits and pipes, traditional drainage would have cost $1.2 million. Permeable paving has solved the problem. No surface water in a 1 in 100 and a 1 in 50 back-to-back 2 weeks apart. We saved $1 million on that one job. We haven't done any of this in isolation. We have supporters, academics, agencies from government providing funding and in-kind support. It's a pleasure working with them. Fantastic part of the job. Thank you.